Hello there, it's Saturday the 16th of March 2013. A warm welcome along to today's United Kingdom talk. Tom and Layla, who come to the quiz night on Tuesdays, were asking me how I got into doing talk shows and all that. It stems from when I was about 16 or 17 years old. And this is going back even further than doing the talk shows. And I kind of set up a little radio station in my bedroom when I was living with Mum and Dad. Yes, I might have been earlier than 15 or 16. Let me just try and think, actually. No, I would say 15 or 16. Between 15 and 18, set up this little radio station in my bedroom, which basically consisted of two record players. There was no microphone at that time, and I made a couple of switches with paper clips and drawing pins, and I cut the speakers off these old record players. They were very old record players, okay, very old record players, and I'll see if I've got any pictures there. Might be a couple of pictures to have a look at. Very old record players. Cut the speakers off, took the speakers out, and put one downstairs in the living room and one in the kitchen in Mum and Dad's house, you see. And by using the paperclip switches that I'd made, I was able to switch between one record player and the other. And I would simply put on records and have them piped downstairs. There was no switch to turn them off. So Mum and Dad were forced to listen to this music, which incidentally came out of their own record collection. So that's how I started that. I then extended it into my neighbours' homes by taking a wire out of my house and first to the neighbour on the right and then to the neighbour on the left. And then I extended it into my friend's house who lives in the block next door. Now the block of flats, because we lived in kind of maisonettes or flats, the block of flats next door, there was a road between me and them. So what we did was threw a wire across the road, because we lived on the second floor, you see. And that hung between the two flats. And to disguise it as something else, I put bunting along the wire. You know, so that the council wouldn't think, oh, it was just a few flags. I had no idea there was music being piped into my friend's house. Now, again, there was a speaker on the end of that. And that's how that happened. And then a little bit later on, when I was about, I think 18 or 19, I didn't build, but I found a friend who built an illegal transmitter, boys and girls. I'm going back here to the 80s. About 1980, 81 maybe. And this then broadcast the music on FM. Okay? Oh, no, hang on a minute. No, first of all, I bought these two really cheap radio microphones. And they had different frequencies, and I put them next to the loudspeaker, another loudspeaker, which I had in a cupboard. Okay, so I put in this cupboard, I put a loudspeaker and a radio mic, and you switched it on, and then, you know, you could get my little radio station on FM. Not very large distance, maybe a couple of blocks around, that was all. And I put an extra piece of wire on there and shoved that out the window. And by now, I'd also hooked up, I think, a mixer and a tape recorder. So I was now able to talk in between the records. And eventually, I had friends coming round and they would do little radio shows and things like that. And it didn't really get any reaction from anyone or anything like that. And then further down the line, I found someone to build me an proper FM transmitter, which plugged into the back of the amplifier, you know, in the output. So now, what we had basically was an illegal FM station which broadcasts 20, 30 miles radius from this big aerial that I'd put up on the roof as well. Anyway, eventually we got nicked for that. And prosecuted and what have you. And, it wasn't too bad, actually, you know, because basically we were just a few kids having a little bit of fun. Then after that, a long period, there was a big gap of probably about 20 years. And the next thing I did was radio on an AM station, a medium wave station in London called Liberty Radio, and I did the overnight show between sort of 2 a.m. and 6:30 a.m. and that station was a proper radio station that was based in Knightsbridge. It used to go all over London. That carried on for about 2 years. And after that, I started doing online radio stations, and these were all music-based programmes. But I found, once I started doing the Liberty Radio, I found myself talking more and more in between the records. And I'd also started to listen to talk radio stations like Talk Radio UK and LBC. And I thought, do you know, I'm going to try this talk thing. And then one day, while I was doing this online radio station, I thought, right, today, I'm not going to play any records. And I didn't. I simply turned on, do you know, I've got the sniffles again. I simply turned on the microphone. I had a few little bits written in front of me, a couple of newspapers, and I just talked. There was no video or anything like that. Excuse me, just a minute. Oh, dear me. Sniffles again today. And that was it, really. And that was, nearly 7 years ago. No, I lie. No, that must have been in 2003, so it's about 10 years ago. So I did that for a little while, then I stopped. And then I started doing the recorded podcasts. Just talking for anything up to an hour. And that's really just how I started. You know, and then about three or 4 years ago, the video side of it came along as well. So now I do the YouTube as well. And they were also asking, Tom and Lila were also asking, how did you, build up an audience? Well, basically, I just kept doing it. I just kept doing it. Whenever I do a new show, I put a little note on Facebook or Twitter, something like that. And then people, if they want to, they click on it, and that's it. I don't have like thousands and thousands of viewers and listeners all over the world. I might be lucky to have a couple of hundred over all the different platforms, because as well as YouTube, there's a TV thing called Blip TV, and there's Daily Motion, and then there's the audio side of it only, and of course the main United Kingdom Talk website, unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. You can see it all on there. You either choose the video or the audio. That's how I started, you two. All right? There's an insight. And what made me start doing it? I don't know, really. I've just always spoken. Certainly, when I was DJing in the 80s, I did a lot. I mean, I don't talk so much while I'm DJing now, in clubs, because it's not required. But at that time, talking DJs were a thing. You would talk. You would entertain people rather than just shoving on the music all the time. And people were open to being entertained, Tom. How can I explain? Quite frankly, now when you open your mouth now, they look, oh, why is he talking? They don't want to be entertained. There's a very short... People are very different now. Very, very different now. Most people seem to have a very short attention span. And it goes the same with the music. I can't play remixes, long remixes of radio edits anymore, because it just doesn't hold people's attention. After 3 minutes they're like, oh, what's on next? What's on next? What's on next all the time? You're not willing to wait to see what I'm going to put on next. So your attention span got lots more, and people just don't want you to talk in between the records, I don't think, anymore at clubs and things like that. So we don't. That's my story. All right. Poor old Tom and Lila. They come to the quiz every week now. They have two friends. Let me see who was with them this week. Alex and Ian were with them this week, and they didn't win. Oh dear. Did they come third? But they won last week, only by half a point. So keep plodding away. Let's see some more winnings from Tom's team. Tom, incidentally, boys and girls, is Nacho Boy. We call him Nacho Boy because he can never have enough nachos. He has his plate, and then when he's finished, because we have cheap nachos, vegetarian nachos usually, for anyone who's joining in the quiz. And they get the great big plate of nachos for £1. Dirt cheap, dear. dirt cheap and various things on top, maybe a bit of cheese and some sort of tomato-based, what do you call it, a spread or something like that. It's all on there. Tom eats that, and then he looks around for any other plates that might not be finished. There we are. But they didn't win the £50 voucher this week. Did I tell you how the quiz works? Yeah, we do it every Tuesday night. We do a quiz at the Mayflower, which is in Rotherhithe. It sits right on the Thames. It's a little pub. Great atmosphere in there. I mean, it really is. And we do a quiz every Tuesday night, 8:30 to 10:30. And it's 4 rounds, 2 rounds of questions. There's a picture round and there's a music round. And the top prize is a £50 bar tab, which someone wins every week. So they get emailed a voucher, a £50 voucher. And second prize is a bottle of wine. And for the losers, they get a bag of crisps of their choice. Quite frankly, I think I'd rather be a loser. I'm a loser. I am a loser. So my niece calls me that, She does. Whenever I ring her up, she says, "Oh, is it you, the loser?" My niece calls me that. Isn't she cruel to me? Anyway, I'm very excited, actually, to go up and see her tomorrow. Because, of course, Saturday today. Tomorrow I'm going up to see her for the day. Only one day and one night. After work, because tonight I'm working in Coventry. Doing a big club in Coventry tonight. And after that I should be driving across to my sister. And they're actually very close. I say close, much closer than I am here. To drive from here to my sister's is about 3 hours, 20 minutes or so, something like that. To drive from Coventry to my sister's, looking at the map, I think it's going to be about an hour and a half, so a much easier drive there. And that's for George the baby's christening. Tomorrow, little baby George, that's my niece's baby. Hang on, let me just write down times, because 12 picture of George. That's it. 12 picture of George. Sorry, one minute. And we had record players as well. I'm trying to sort out a few little pictures for those of you that watch on the YouTube as well. Okay, pictures of various things that we're talking about as the show goes on. Yeah, George the baby is having his christening. Bless his heart. And Uncle Chris is going up to visit. And while I'm up there, my nose is itching like mad. Oh, this is dreadful today. And I've only got one tissue, which is rapidly getting rather wet, I must say. Oh, do excuse me. You don't see newsreaders with tissue. I wonder what newsreaders on the telly do, when they go sneezing, or you never see them sneezing or anything, do you? Do they do something to their noses? No, I hope not. I'm sure there might be 1 or 2 newsreaders. I don't do anything like that, thank you very much. Thank you, if you don't mind. But I'm sure they must sneeze or cough at some point. You never see them doing it, do you? Or maybe they just don't come in. You see, unlike me, Mummy's brave little soldier who just comes in and goes on and on, and on and on and on. So looking forward to going to see George and taking up all their presents that I brought back from New York. I think I'll probably also take up their birthday cards, because all their birthdays are around April, May. So I take everything up there and give her, don't open that before your birthday. Oh, my nose. It's itching like mad. Maybe I need another tissue. Oh, that's something that came in the post today. Talking of presents, here's a present for myself. My duvet protector has arrived. I haven't opened this yet. What's this made out of? I was a little bit concerned it was going to be like plastic, but it's not. It's some sort of, here we are. Protects and extends the life of your mattress. Well, it's supposed to be a duvet cover, not a mattress. Oh, it's a bit noisy, isn't it? Can you hear that? And that somehow goes over your... Hang on a minute, I haven't bought a mattress protector, have I, by any chance? Oh no, don't say I've got the wrong thing. A minute. Oh no, it is a duvet. No, it's a duvet protector. And what would happen, so you put this big white thing over your duvet, over your duvet, and then all the, oh my god, I've just knocked my mirror ball, just a second. Sorry, mirror ball. And then all the cat cat juice. Cat juice. Because Katie the cat, she dribbles sometimes on the mattress. The idea, not on the mattress, on the duvet. The idea is the duvet protector will catch that before it goes into the duvet. And then it needs cleaning. But with that, hopefully, I'll just be able to wipe it off. I don't know what sort of... It's a sort of a... I don't know what material that is, actually. Does it say on there? Doesn't even say. Oh! Construction. Soft spun bound polypropylene. And then in brackets, Coravin. Machine washable. 100% waterproof, anti-allergenic, stain and water repellent, extra comfort and warmth, eliminates odours and moisture, and zip fastening. So there we are. Once again, Chris is going to be a clean little boy. I'm so pleased about that. Starbucks. Oh my God, Starbucks. I got ripped off in Starbucks the other day. I wasn't happy at all. Not happy. So me and my friend Ron, we'd been out. He'd actually taken me to the hospital, you know, because I'm having the little bones looked at. Not bones, muscles. Muscles. I've got a bit of in my neck on your right hand side. I've got a bit of tension there. So she comes, this woman, I get a half an hour appointment in a hospital. It's all free of charge here in the UK on the NHS. We're very lucky to have this here. And she kind of massages my muscles there. And also one in my arm, which she says is caused by overuse of the mouse arm. Although this is actually much better now. And so is the neck one since she started doing all massaging and all that. Anyway, after that, on the way home, I said, well, I fancy having a little Starbucks cup of tea, you know, because I do like the tea in Starbucks. And I bought a very large tea. I can't remember, was it a Vitae Grande or something like that? Why can't they just call it extra large? Why do they have to use all these stupid foreign words? Anyway, extra large tea from Starbucks. Right, now where's that bit of paper gone? Oh, every bloody time I lose my bits of paper, don't I? It was right in front of me a minute ago. I haven't lost it under the new duvet cover, have I? Oh, it does annoy me. No, it's gone. Oh, there it is. There it is. There's little paper. Sorry, little paper. I keep a note on these times, you see. 18 Starbucks. Then if I want to put a little picture in the show, I can do that afterwards. So I ordered a very large tea. Vitae Grande or something like that. You know, some... whatever. And an extra large, please. Okay. And Ronnie had a medium mocky something about moccasin. No, they're shoes, aren't they? Moccasins. I don't know. Medium mocky skinny. I haven't got a clue what that is. They try and be clever with all these, and I don't understand what the hell's going on. Why can't they just say tea or coffee? It's easy when you go on a plane, isn't it? You have tea or coffee. Not in Starbucks. You have a whole range of all these various different drinks and syrups and creams going on top. Anyway, so I ordered this something mocky, something or other. Skinny mocky. Caramel. I think it had caramel in it. Maybe it had caramel in it. And so she, and I said, oh, I'll have a blueberry. No, what did I have? I had a cheese and tomato panini thing. And he had a slice of cake. And I mean a slice of cake. These were not the slices of cake that you get in New York. Let me tell you this now. They're half the bloody size. Because when I was in New York a few weeks ago, I did go in quite a few Starbucks there because it's the only place you can get a decent cup of tea. The only place you get a decent cup of proper British English tea is in New York Starbucks. You won't be able to do it in a hotel room. Let me tell you that. They use the crappiest tea bags ever. They've got no idea. I don't suppose they do it on purpose. They think they're good tea bags, but they're not. Got to get your tea bags from Starbucks when you're in the States, right? So, I've ordered these 4 items. I got to the till. She's given me the tea. She said, I'm just doing your coffee now, or whatever it was, moccasin thing, whatever it is. And She says your cheese is in the machine. Okay, thanks so much. How much is that? And I thought, oh, here we go. And it was like £9 on, and I thought, oh, bloody hell, £9 for that. Anyway, so I paid over the money, got the change, and I went over to put my milk in the tea. So I come back again. She's now serving someone else. I said, oh, have you got a bit of cake there, please? She said, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't put that through. That's okay, darling. I'll take that now with me. So she put it on the plate, and then she started pushing the till. She said, it's £2.20, please. I said, what do you mean it's £2.20? She said, I didn't put that through. I said, oh, you mean you didn't put it through the till? She said, no. I said, you mean to say £9 and I don't get the cake with that? She said, no, it's another £2.20. £2.20 for one piece of cake? Talk about take the piss. £2.20 for one piece of cake. I could have gone into the supermarket and bought an entire cake, because they've always got something on special in there. This particular Starbucks is attached to Sainsbury's in Bracknell, okay? The Sainsbury's in Bracknell, there's always a couple of cakes on special offer. You get a whole cake for £1. Don't ask me how they do it. For that, they do, okay? So I said, £2.20, and I went on and on about this. Anyway, I handed over the money and got the bit of cake, and I walked off. Ronnie was sitting, he was already sitting, you know, waiting for it, because he was saving the comfy seats. There's not many comfy seats in there. So as soon as you see a comfy seat, you know, the other one has to rush over and save the seats there. So I've walked away from there, and I've taken the cake, and as I'm walking from the counter to there, all I'm saying in a loud voice is, £2.20! Are you taking the effing piss? £2.20 in a loud voice. And this old dear came up behind me. Oh, bless her heart. And she says, and she said, also in a loud voice, and they don't even pay tax properly. And they don't, do they, Starbucks? You see them on the telly a few months ago, telling some inquiry that they've never made a profit here for 10 years. What a load of old crap that is. Do you really think we believe that, Starbucks? I think the problem was the cake and the panini, right? The cake, £2.20, the panini, £3.95. And this £3.95 for the panini, it wasn't any bigger, right, than taking both hands, putting them together and making an oval shape. That was the size of the panini. £3.95. So call it £4, 5, 6. So £6 of that was on these items of food. Over £6. Absolutely ridiculous. It is shocking, really shocking, that you've got the audacity to charge £2.20 for a piece of cake and £3.95 for this very small cheese and tomato panini, which tasted very nice, but it weren't worth £4. You're really taking the piss, Starbucks. Anyway, so we sat down there and I carried on in my loud voice, moaning about the price. And there was a couple of staff from Sainsbury's, as I suppose they go in there and use it as well, you know, sitting just on the table next to us, who kept looking around and laughing. They thought it was very funny. And I realised why they thought it was funny, because then they got up and they walked, you know, back to work, I suppose. And on their table, I noticed a box. They had a couple of Starbucks drinks, and there was a box. I looked at the box. I thought, well, that hasn't come from here. And of course, what they've done is bought a couple of cakes from Sainsbury's and bought them in and eaten them there. And I thought, well, that's what you've got to do. You know, we could have, as I say, we could have bought an entire box of cakes from Sainsbury's for £1. We wouldn't even have eaten them all. We might have had one or two each. Well, probably two each. I won't lie to you. You know, or if we bought a whole cake would not. Even if we put the whole price, a whole cake would have cost about £2 odd. Maybe £2, a little bit more perhaps. But we wouldn't eat the whole cake. It's certainly not worth £2.20 for one piece of cake and £4, near enough £4 for that small panini thing. It's absolutely outrageous. And I said to him, I said, well, that's it then. We're not coming. We're not eat. We certainly won't eat in here again. Might come in there for a cup of tea occasionally. You know, to get a proper decent cup of tea. Because they do decent tea in Starbucks. But there's no way I am buying any more food ever in Starbucks. They take the piss. They really take the piss with the price of their food. What do you think, boys and girls? We have an email address. If you'd like to join in at any time, my email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Alright, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. I've got to say, you know, £12 there for those 2 small food items and 2 drinks. You can go for a Carvery. Toby Carvery. Now, we've got those up and down the country here in the UK. I don't think there are any in London. Right? But you can go to a Toby Carvery Monday through to Saturday. Alright? And you can get a full roast dinner for £5.90, I think it is. £5.99, maybe £5.75, something like that. A full roast dinner. And it's one of those dinners where you get your meat. If you're a meat eater, I don't get meat. They always have various vegetarian options. I have this butternut squash thing, little pie thing, which I have. And then you go back and help yourself to as many potatoes and vegetables as you can possibly eat. And it's nice. It's always busy in there. And if you want to, if you're that way inclined, okay, you cannot move after you've had the dinner. You really can eat as much as that for £6. Why oh why? So 2 of you in there without drinks, okay? Without drinks would cost you about £12. With drinks, maybe you're looking at £15 or £16 for 2 very large meals and a couple of drinks. £16. Then you can't move. Or you can go to Starbucks, have your tea and your tiny bit of cake, still think, oh, I'm not sure that I've eaten enough, and be ripped off for £12. Where would you rather go? It's shocking. Absolutely shocking. I when I was 9 years, was it 9? Let me think, 63, 73. Yeah, when I was about 9 years old, I bought a piano, second-hand piano. I saved up for it with my money because my mum and dad taught me, my dad mainly taught me how to save money. Okay? I didn't shout and something was given. He would give me pocket money, 10 pence a week. And I would save up for things. That's how I learned how to save. The value of money, which a lot of people just don't seem to comprehend this anymore. You know, it comes in one hand and goes out the other. A lot of people say, oh no, you know, well, I can't afford to save. Yes, you can. I don't believe you. Unless you're really, really poor, most people can afford to save. Other kids, they used to go out and buy their sweets and things. I saved for things that I wanted. And that's why I'm okay now, really, you know. There's always something there. There's always something there for the rainy day. And I saved up for a piano. Do you know how much that piano cost me? £10. £10, that piano. Cheaper than 4 items in Starbucks today. Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk is my email address. On the other end of eating scale, you've got restaurants like Jamie Oliver's. Now, my friend Ron, we went out to a Jamie Oliver restaurant a couple of weeks ago now. I think it was on Wednesday afternoon. Doesn't matter when. Anyway, and really nice. Really nice. The service was quite outstanding. The customers, you know, sometimes you go in a place, oh, I don't like that lot over there. No, the customers were also very nice. The staff, as I say, outstanding staff. The food, outstanding. General atmosphere of the place, extremely good. Very clean. We liked it. It wasn't cheap. Okay? Wasn't cheap. I had, to start with, little cheesy nacho things. Then I had these mushroom pillows, which were like little bit like ravioli, except they've got a mushroom filling inside. Very tasty indeed. I had garlic and I think it was basil or rosemary chips, which they were really delicious. Slices of garlic on top. You wouldn't have wanted to come too close to my face after I've eaten them, boys and girls. What was the other thing I had? And for pudding, 3 scoops of ice cream. Ron had, I think he had the nachos. He had some chips and some sort of chicken thing that he has. And he had a brownie. And that lot came to £58, right? £58 for that lot. Now, for a lunch, that was pretty expensive, but I thought it was for the restaurant that it was in. I thought that was about right. I didn't feel ripped off by that. Whereas before, I've gone into Pizza Express, you know. A couple of years ago, I always remember we went into Pizza Express in London and we had pizzas, we had a couple of pizzas, a couple of drinks. When I say drinks, I don't mean alcoholic drinks, you know, neither of us drink. So it would be like a couple of cups of tea perhaps, and he would have had a 7-Up or a Coke or something like that. And a couple of puddings. And that come to £42. There I felt ripped off. Why did I feel ripped off? Peter, it's a pizza place. It's a bloody pizza place. It's not Jamie Oliver's. You know, you go to somewhere like Jamie Oliver's and you would expect to pay a little bit more for the food. It's that sort of place. You know, you're paying for the experience of going to a Jamie Oliver's restaurant, and we enjoyed the experience. Whereas you're going to Pizza Hut, you're going in there, you know, you're not going in there for a meal, are you? You're going in for something quick, you know, I'll just have a quick pizza in here, you know, and to be charged £42 for that, no, I thought that was that over the top. But not as bad as the £12 that we got charged at Starbucks the other day. Absolutely shocking, shocking. I mean, you would think that you're buying the bloody cups and the plates that you're eating off, wouldn't you? Dear, dear me. Okay, email time, boys and girls. Have you got any experiences of being ripped off like that? Maybe you've been out somewhere eating or something like that, and you thought, Jesus, that was a lot of money. Have you? Do let us know on the email, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. There's also a Facebook. My Facebook is facebook.com/Chris Reardon UK. And of course, Twitter. If you want to be a Twitter follower, we're on there as well as Chris Reardon UK. Alrighty, it's email time, boys and girls. Hello to James, who writes on the subject of Justin Bieber. Poor little Justin Bieber. Why does he keep getting his bum out? That's... Why does he keep showing his pants above his trousers? James says Justin Bieber seems to be having a lot of problems with his concert, or he did have. He's gone home now, hasn't he? He collapsed at his second concert. Then the day after he was released from hospital, he threatened to punch a photographer. Sounds like someone who's out of control and needs time out. He is very young and started out very young. It must affect him. Yes. He lost his cool with a photographer. But I have to say, a lot of these photographers that you see, the paparazzi we call them here in Eco, they're vile. They are vile people. And when you saw that photographer on there, he didn't exactly help the situation. He was shouting out, oh, of course he knew the law. He was an horrible bloke, that photographer. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say, you know, how wonderful Justin Bieber is. You know, 2 hours late for a concert, this, that and the other. But the incident with the photographer I completely know about, because these bastards have got their lenses right in these people's faces. It would do my head in. It really would. Who the hell do they think they are, going around with their lenses right in people's faces all the time? They really think they are, like, you know, something else, and they can go around and take pictures of anything and anything they want to do. And of course, if you said anything to them, like, oh, well, he's quite not doing anything illegal. It's not the point whether you're doing anything illegal or not. It's awful to hound someone like that. Look at poor Princess Diana. When she had the car crash. You remember that one? And of course, Kate and William. They're getting photographs of her and, you know, where she hasn't wanted to be photographed. To sell a newspaper, boys and girls, that's all it's for. Of course, not me, but perhaps you have bought a magazine with pictures of various people in it, such as the ones with Harry, Prince Harry's bum. Oh, how exciting, we've got a picture of Prince Harry's bum, let's put it on the front page. And you have bought that. So you've bought into it as well, haven't you? You know, if people started turning around and saying, oh, I'm not buying that, you know, they shouldn't be taking pictures of her, then it would stop. So they are, you are almost feeding those photographers. Don't buy the papers. It's as simple as that. If you don't like it, I don't buy any of those crap magazines. OK magazine and Hello. You know, looking at celebrities and what they're wearing and looking at their houses and all that. What on earth is all that about? Why would you want to know? People like Katie Price selling pictures of her wedding. And who wants to see Katie Price getting married? How uninteresting. What an uninteresting story. Send me put some pictures in there of people starving in Africa. Come on, tell us some proper news. Good stories and bad stories. Not someone's breasts or bum. He's just obsessed. Obsessed, some people. But James, I blame. I give the photographer 50% of the blame for that incident, but no one has said that. I heard what the photographer was having a go at him as well, wasn't he? I hate paparazzi photographers. I think they're all arseholes. I really do. James says, as for the roads, it seems to be a big part of a problem as public transport prices are going up, but it just seems bad and there doesn't seem to be any way forward. Yes, because I got stuck in a traffic jam on a couple of Mondays ago, but it was an accident. You see, it wasn't anything else. You were talking about posters and flyers, but I think they're a thing of the past now. As you say, a word of mouth is just as good as word gets round quick because of mobile phones and internet. I think mobiles and internet is a way forward for advertising now, as it seems a lot of people are using the internet and mobile phones now. Well, yes, it does. I think posters are still quite important, James. In fact, someone's made me a poster, have a little look, for my karaoke nights on Mondays and Wednesdays at Belushi's. My friend Mike, who's just moved a little bit closer to me, he's moved to Southampton. Mike has made me a little poster, which I'm very pleased with. A little picture of me there, advertising my Monday and Wednesday karaoke nights, and I'm going to put that on Facebook whenever I do whatever night I'm doing. I usually put it on Facebook so that people know and they can come down to that. I'm glad to hear that Suko is still about. She did very good shows. I hope there are more shows as they are missed. No, Suko is not doing shows at the moment. Okay, she's not doing podcasts. I don't know if she's going to do them again or not. As for radio, James Wow has gone from LBC. From what I hear, he's quite popular with the listeners. Yes, I don't know why LBC haven't renewed James Wales' contract. I have no idea why that happened. But one of the good news is Clive Bull is back on there. I'm very pleased to announce that. Clive Bull is back on LBC, a London station, and he's on nightly between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. So I'm very, very pleased to hear that. Unfortunately, Ian Dow has been given an extra hour between 4 and 8. So it's not all good news, because I can't stand his voice, as you well know. Very wishy-washy, can't bear Ian Dow's voice. By the way, has anyone listened to him yet? I keep mentioning this and no one ever comes back to me and say, oh, we did listen and I think you're wrong or I think you're right. What do you reckon? Let us know on the email, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. There is a show in which a group of amateur radio enthusiasts get together and they discuss the news headlines. It seems quite good. It's called Coffee or Beer Show, and it's on the internet, so I haven't heard of this. www.coffeeorbeershow.com. We'll have to have a listen to that. coffeeorbeershow.com. I hope people enjoy it. If there's any more shows or indeed an internet radio station pops up, I will tell you from James. And thank you for that, James. Nice to hear from you, sir. Very quickly, from Wendy, who says, funnily enough, was just thinking about you. She says, oh my goodness, I have never seen a onesie before. She was watching the last show, where I showed you pictures of onesies. just awful. They are just dreadful. 1 minute. Got to write that down as well. I'm writing down where I want to insert pictures, because what was happening before was I'd finish a show talking about various bits and pieces, various subjects dear, and then I could never remember where to put the photos, and I had to go backwards and forwards until I found the place where to insert the photos. So I write that down there. So we've got some more pictures of onesies for you. And Wendy says, oh my goodness, I've never seen a onesie before. How ridiculous do people look in them? They remind me of the old 80s style nylon jumpsuits. They really are awful onesies. Please do not buy or wear a onesie. Not even at home on your own. But they don't see it. People can't see it. They don't realise how ridiculous they look. Funny thing is, when I go, like, for example, down to Mayflower on Tuesday last week when we were doing the quiz, I was talking to some people about these onesies, and most people agree that the onesies look completely stupid on people. All they are is oversized baby grows. What are people going to do next? Start wearing nappies as well? Oh, it's just horrendous, these onesies. They really are. Hello to Anita. Hello, Anita. Who says, hi, Chris. Looking at your Wednesday show where you are reading out my email about my Barry tattoo. She's had a Barry Manilow tattoo. I will send you a picture as soon as I can. I have one more trip to see Jason for the final touch-up in about 2 weeks. Maybe we can get a picture of Jason and myself and my tattoo. Yeah, because I'm quite liking the sound of Jason. I think men that put tattoos on people are generally good-looking and fit, aren't they? They really are. You will like him. He's 29. He's 29 years old and looks 19. Or quite 29 years old. That sounds good. 29 sounds good. Such a cutie. Oh, send the picture, please, Wendy. Send the picture. Love your show, you make me laugh. Very happy Wendy told me about you and your show. I look forward to watching you every week. And we do 2 shows a week, Anita. Have you got the main website for the show? It's at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Okay, and the shows come out usually 99 times out of 100. They will be there on Saturday morning and Wednesday morning, okay? That's every Saturday and Wednesday. If you go to unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, the newest show will be right at the top of the list there, all right? Do you have more than the Wednesday show? Yes, it's every Saturday and every Wednesday, okay? So there's 2 a week on Saturdays and Wednesdays, again, at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. In April, when I meet Barry Manilow in Atlanta, he will see my tattoo. Really hope he likes it, because I love it. Take care, hope you're feeling better. Regards from a fan in Tennessee, Anita. So thank you, Anita. Perhaps, Anita, if you get time, you could tell Barry Manilow that you have a friend in the UK who's been to see him 4 times and is always talking about you on his podcast. I wonder what would be the chances of perhaps going to Barry's house and doing a little interview with him. Wow. You could find out how he started. Well, I mean, I know how he started because he just tells us on the shows and that. But I could bring it to an even wider audience of about another 100 people. Or maybe this show is just too small for Barry. He's such a megastar. I don't think he'd be interested in doing a little interview on this show, would he? Oh, well. Oh, well. Maybe one day I'll become an internationally famous talk show host, globally recognised. And then Barry might want to come on. But it's a long uphill struggle, boys and girls. Picking up a little listener here and a viewer there. It's a long, long uphill struggle. It really is. There we are. Got an email there from Marge. I'm going to hold that to the next show, Marge. Hope that's okay with you, my darling. There was a couple of other things what we wanted to do before I go today. Guess what I've lost? Yep, the bit of paper. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. We don't. Oh, Dallas! Dallas! Did you see this week's episode of Dallas? Here in the UK, Channel 5. In the States on TNT. Oh, wow. Wow. The shooting of JR. I think that's it now, isn't it? He's gone because, of course, dear old Larry Hagman died a little while ago. Someone has done a sort of collage of Larry Hagman photos, which was very good, that I saw on Facebook, so I've nicked that off them, you know, borrowed that for a little while. Really good collage. But I can tell you now that it's finished. Right at the very end of this week's episode, John Ross, it was so simple. It was done so simple and yet so powerful. John Ross picks up the phone and is on the phone to his dad, JR. And basically JR's sitting there in this chair talking to his son. It's a very close up to JR, really close, just his whole head was on there. And he's talking to his son and he says, I don't see why you should have to pay for all my wrongdoings. This is my master plan, John Ross. Let me just tell you, I'll always be proud of you, son, or something like that, he says. And then the camera's on JR, and you hear a door creak. And JR kind of takes the phone away from his ear, looks straight ahead, and his face just drops. And then the picture cuts back to John Ross, and all you hear is two shots in the phone. Bang, bang. And John Ross, his son, his face drops and he says, JR? JR! And then it finishes. Wow. So powerful. So simple and yet so powerful. Fantastic. I just wish with Dallas they put it on Channel 5, on BBC One. Because we actually have very few viewers watching Dallas here in the UK. Something ridiculous like 350,000, I think it was. I don't know how many people watched this week's episode, whether or not they knew JR was going to get shot. I didn't know he was going to get shot. I made sure I didn't read any of the bits and pieces about that. But yes, I mean, a really, really good episode, and I can't wait for next week's episode. The only thing is, here in Channel 5, the viewing figures are so low that I'm not sure they're going to pick up the next season or not, if there's going to be one, because I gather it's doing quite well on TNT in the States, but here in the UK, it just, for some reason, it just hasn't taken off. People don't know what they're missing. I don't think, well, they have tried it. Presumably they just didn't like it. You know, we started off with 3 million people watching it, now it's like 350,000. So you can understand why the TV station doesn't want to pick it up. But I will want to watch it. Now, I remember back last year, but halfway through last year, I told you that you can actually watch Dallas episodes from the States on your computer here. Do you know, I cannot remember for the life of me what that website was. So did anyone remember what that site was that I told you about? If so, could you remind me, please? And send that through, okay? Chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. What was that site that you can go and watch Dallas episodes on? Please do let us know, Chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. So a fantastic, absolutely fantastic episode of Dallas. And rest in peace and thanks for all the fun, Larry Hagman. That's it from the show today. Thanks very much for watching and listening, boys and girls. I'll see you on the next one. And I'll be able to tell you all about the christening of my great-nephew, George, that I'm looking forward to on Sunday. See you on the next show. Bye-bye.